Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? It is 1:04 a.m. My purse just gets, my fanny pack just keeps on getting more and more full. I just keep on throwing more stuff in here. Like now I have this hand sanitizer that I found, the little birdie hand sanitizer. I think I showed that yesterday. But let me show you my hand sanitizers, okay, first of all. I mean, not all of them are like the best ones, but I have 4 hand sanitizers in here. This is the kind that I had a 3-pack of that somebody sent me that I didn't even know that I had in my drawer, and I'm so happy that I have it. Okay, lip gloss, lip balm. Let's get this party started. First of all, I've had a headache all day today, but it feels kind of like a allergy headache, which my allergies have not been great, so that's real fun. But, so let me tell you about today. Slept in, as usual. Let me get my Diet Coke, first of all. Slept in as usual. And then I was out of a bunch of stuff that I wanted, or, you know, to have at the house. And Alex was out of a bunch of stuff that he wanted. So we were like, okay, why don't we just spend this afternoon going and getting the stuff that we need and like loading up on whatever we needed, and food-wise and like essential-wise, like bathroom stuff, and then we'll be set and we won't have to leave the house for like another month. So we went today. Now I knew some of the stuff that I wanted they were not gonna have at Costco. So I ran to Meijer first by myself because we didn't need to both go in, but we needed to both go to Costco because we had different things and we wanted to walk around and see what we wanted. So I ran over to Meijer and I kind of sat there for a second and I was like, it wasn't like jam-packed, but there were a few people there. And this was at like 4 in the afternoon, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna run in really quick and get what I need and run out. Alex and I both wore face covers today, like the handkerchief kind of things, you know? And the only kind of gloves that we have are gardening gloves, so we didn't use those. At Meijer, when I walked in, they were spraying the carts and like disinfecting them and handing them right to you. But I didn't, like, I just carried the stuff that I got. And and Meijer actually had everything. They had like bread, they had produce, they had all kinds of meat, they had tons of stuff. The thing was, when I got inside the store, I just kind of got into panic mode a little bit. I didn't feel like people were respecting social distancing whatsoever. I had to say something to a couple people. Not like telling other people what to do, but like when I was trying to like get by them in an aisle, like I would go down an aisle and there would be somebody there and they would like be coming, you know, like towards me. So I would stand at the end of the aisle for like them to come out, and they would look at me like I was crazy, and they'd be like, you can come by me. I'm like looking, and I'm like, no, I'm good, it's okay. And so sometimes I would go all the way down the next aisle to come back around the aisle. So, because I was looking for soup, which they didn't have the kind of soup that I wanted there, which is whatever. I'm just gonna order it on like Amazon Fresh. If anything else that we need, I'm just gonna order it. But I knew that they wouldn't have the coffee creamer that I wanted, and I was like, which I know probably sounds funny to a lot of people, but like it's one of the only enjoyments I have, you know, like, so I went and I got 3 bottles of the Starbucks coffee creamer, and then I got 3 of the smaller bottles of the coconut milk for my sleepy time tea, and then like I hid it out of the store. And I went to like a checkout line because she was like spraying it all down with Lysol. They've now put up these plastic like kind of like enclosures around the cashiers. So like you're like talking through like a, like, you know, like if you're like, you know, at one of those gas stations when you're like the outside or whatever. So I got the stuff, but yeah, like people were like walking, like bumping into each other. I mean, there was not like much social distancing that was going on at Meijer. I was really, really surprised about it. There was really no, there was nobody that worked there that was kind of like delegating how things should go. I was super, super surprised. And I can tell you in the future, if I do have to go out, it won't be to Meijer. We'll never do that again. And I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone today, and she was like, yeah, I heard like Kroger is exactly the same way. And she was like, maybe it was my cousin I was talking to about this, because I have like 5 people I call every single day. So, so then I came home, like cleaned off the stuff, emptied took the creamers inside, washed my hands, did all that kind of stuff, changed my clothes. Then Alex and I went to Costco, and the line was all the way outside, but it moved very fast. We were inside within less than 10 minutes, and it like you weave around, and they have like those pylon things where you have to stand directly 6 feet apart from each other. I felt very safe there, much safer than I was at Meijer. It was weird, like I got in my car after Meijer and I was completely freaked out, like I almost started crying. Just because it seems like such a weird world that we're living in right now. But at the same time, and this is just my opinion, this is just my experience, okay? We're all grown adults and we're being asked to keep 6 feet distance from each other. This isn't like first grade holding your finger up single file line, okay? I don't understand why that's that difficult. I really, really don't understand why that's that difficult. And, so anyway, we went to Costco. This was the other thing. At Meijer, I probably saw like 3 or 4 people in masks. I actually, at Meijer, I saw this guy that had like one of the big like gas mask kind of things on. A lot of people had gloves. But at Costco, literally every person had like a thing over their face. And whether it was a mask or a homemade mask, or whether it was like a handkerchief like we had on, or whatever, like everybody had something over their face. Everybody kept their distance. They're only letting, I think, 400 people plus employee, like including employees in the store at any given time. And they're only letting so many people go in at a time. And then they like, before they let you in, they kind of like explain. They're like, okay, here are new rules. Like, you're gonna hold up your card or your membership on your phone. We won't come in contact with you. You just need to hold it up. Only two people per membership can go in. And he said, and that includes, like, if it's a couple with a child, one of you has to stay in the car. Like, you can't come in with like, that's 3 people. We can't have 3 people to a membership. And he was like, we're holding really firm to this. He said, we are washing, like, we're disinfecting each and every cart that comes in, and then letting it sit for so many minutes. And he was like, so you're supposed to take the front carts. Like, they were so organized at Costco. People completely kept their distance. It was night and day for Meijer. I could not believe it. And like, even when you would kind of like go down a aisle, like if somebody was, well, first of all, the aisles are about 6 feet apart, right? So if you're going down an aisle, like somebody would like smile at you, but like when you like came down that, like when you passed them, people would turn the other way, like so you weren't looking at that person. And I don't know, I felt safer there. I felt like a lot of people were doing what they needed to do. And we were there we didn't get in right. Well, the lines at the end were really short. We like went right through the checkout line. But we went, and I was like, we got in there, and I said, okay, we need to get what we need to get because I don't want to come back out. And Alex was like, no, I totally agree. So we we did some grocery shopping today, and I can't, Alex, he's like so into organizing the pantry and the refrigerator, so he wanted to do the whole thing. So when I came home, I was like, do you want me to help you? He's like, no, can you just like, and I was like, okay, so I'm gonna sit outside, I'm gonna finish my audiobook, so I just let him reorganize it, but he got it all in there somehow. But he actually got hamburger meat, or hamburger, and some more chicken, I think. I got like 2 cases of Diet Coke. I got Beyond Meat burgers, a bunch of them, and then bread, Havarti cheese, because I'm out of that. I got more of my pretzel things, just so I don't have to go back out. We got so much stuff. We need a dishwasher detergent, because we're literally washing dishes like every other day, or if not less, because we're using so many dishes. We don't need water because we have the Brita things. We didn't even, like, we've got toilet paper, we've got paper towels, so we weren't, like, gonna, like, buy more than we already needed. He got some Gatorade, he got some Coke. What else did we get? We literally went down every aisle. I got muffins for breakfast. We got a macaroni and cheese, like a big one of the things, and then like a salad to mix, and we were gonna have that for dinner tonight. But when everything was done, I was like, I just want to lay down for a little bit, like I'm really tired. And he was like, okay. And we had the windows open, and we were laying in bed and just kind of talking, and I was like almost asleep. So when I got up, we were gonna like have that and watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but by then he had been snacking on like salsa and chips, and he was like, do you care if we just do it tomorrow? And I was like, no, that's fine, because it was late. Like we literally just finished RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't even know what else we got. He got more bread because he needed bread, and we got buns because is gonna make hamburgers, and plus for my Beyond Meat things, mouthwash. He got some like these like chicken and tacos for him that he wanted, and I don't know, I feel better now. I feel like I do not literally have to leave the house, but I will tell you, having not left the house, except for to, go to my office, like to take the rent check and whatnot, like, it freaked me out. Like, I didn't like being out. And it's interesting. Like, and I was talking to Caroline about that today. She's like, yeah, the only places I feel comfortable, because Caroline had gone to Costco and to Trader Joe's. And Caroline said, my cousin Caroline, she said that Trader Joe's, they were only letting so many people in the store at the same time, and it was the exact same way. And she said, I'm only going to go those places where I'm just going to order online from now on. Like, and I actually, like, talked to one of my mom and aunt's friends that lives in our neighborhood, and I was talking to her today, and she was telling me that she made her first order online for Kroger, and she has to go pick it up. Like, they bring it out to the curbside, and then she picks it up, and that's like but she said she can't even get in until like next week, like the order. And I was like, well, see, like, that's the thing. Like, what do you need? She's like, well, you just figure out what you want for next week, and then you order it next week. And I was like, that's fine. Like, I'm totally fine doing that. Like, I don't need to go out and do all this anymore. I'm not doing that. Like, I didn't like it. And I in my little isolated community right here, like, I feel like everybody that I see is completely following the social distancing. I mean, on our street, when people walk down the street, they stay on either side of the street. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people are respecting the social distancing. Like, I haven't seen my best friend. Alex hasn't seen his best friend. Like, I talked to Tanya on the phone today, and she's like, I miss my friend so much. And I was like, I know. And, like, we haven't seen our family, like, in weeks. And we're just like everybody else. Like, I feel like we're just like everybody. I feel like everybody that I'm talking to is the same as me. And so then when I go out, I just, it's crazy to me. It just is absolutely crazy to me. I don't know. But and Alex and I were talking about it, because I said a couple things about it on the way home, and he was like, well, you can only control yourself. And I said, I know. And I said, like, I didn't get, like, I wasn't frustrated with it or anything. I just was kind of like, I mean, I don't really know what else to say except for that it freaked me out. In fact, I said it so much in the car. Alex goes, hey, did it freak you out? It did. It totally freaked me out, you know? Like, we're living in a different world right now. And I feel like, I don't know, like... So anyway, I told Alex today, he's like, as we were talking, and I said, well, I want to be able to count back, like, how many days it's been since I've been out anywhere. Because before, it had been, like, other than going to my office to pay my rent check, where I literally walked upstairs and went in, paid it, and left, you know, like, and I didn't even see anybody. But Wednesday, we have to take the dogs to the vet, but we don't even go inside. They'll just take them inside and then give them the booster. So, I don't know. It's a weird world we're living in right now. But I feel so much better now that I've got what I need to get, and that we don't need to go back out again. I feel much better about that. And I talked to my cousin today about the leak, and I sent her a picture of it, and she's like, yeah, that's coming from your bathroom, and she's like, that looks like it's a sink. And I don't even know. She and her husband, like, they flip houses and stuff, and she's like, it looks like it's like a leak from the shower or like the sink. She's like, but it could be the toilet. She's like, but it's the other end of the bathroom. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, sometimes water like gets around the edges of the shower, and she's like, that's a lot of what it could be. And she's like, but you've got water built up there. And I said, okay. And she's like, you can't wait until this thing is over to get it taken care of. And I said, oh no, I was gonna call like on Monday. And I was like, but is anybody gonna come out? And she's like, oh yeah. She was like, I think they're still considered essential workers, like if they're coming out there for something like that. And she said, her neighbor had to have something fixed in her house, and she said they came out and were like wearing like heavy gloves and masks and everything, like when they came in to fix it. She was like, so they're super professional about it. She gave me the name of somebody that she has used a lot in the past, and she's like, they're super professional, just tell them that, you know, you're my cousin. So I felt better about that. I'm gonna call on Monday and have them come out and look at it. If I can, I mean, I don't know when I'll be able to get them out, but I'm hoping it's not some huge deal. She's like, well, she's like, best case scenario, Peter, like maybe you can get them to just stop the leak. And then she's like, you're gonna have to get somebody out there to come up and patch up the drywall anyway. Like your plumber's not gonna do that. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. She's like, yeah, they're gonna go in there and they're gonna fix the leak. Like you're gonna have to like hire somebody to come in there and patch up the whatever. And she was like, and that's probably honestly something that like, you know, you can get like an odd job guy to do if he'll come out there and do that. But you know, you could probably like, maybe they'll recommend somebody out there as well. So I don't know. So that was that, and that was my day. And then when I had gotten up today, I wanted to make videos. But when we decided to do that, I just was kind of like, I'm in it for the haul. Well, everything takes like 10 times longer too now. Like it's so weird, like just thinking it through, like not taking your phone, okay, into a store, like taking my sunglasses off and not taking them into the store with me because I don't want to touch them, take them off, touch them, you know what I mean? And then, I mean, you guys see how much I touch my face after I've washed my hands 3 times and haven't left the house, you know what I mean? Like, so imagine me in a store, like it's 10 times worse. Like, you know, I'm constantly like taking sunglasses off, you know, whatever, adjusting my hat, everything. So like I have to really consciously think about it. And so I have like my credit card in one hand, in one pocket. And then I have my hand sanitizer in the back pocket. And then Alex had hand sanitizer. And then that was it. And also being really careful not to touch other stuff. Like that was, like, it was weird. I realized it today, like just leaning on a pylon or like metal stuff that was out, just like when we were waiting in line, just kind of like touching and whatever, like being very aware of not to touch a lot of things, you know? The people that were working at the lines at Costco, now they don't have plastic up yet, but the people that worked in the lines there, so fast and super, super, super professional. They all had gloves on. They were all wearing masks, the ones that we went through, and the line that we went through, and they were just like super friendly. My cousin was telling me that, like, before she goes, she, like, asks all her neighbors, like, if she goes to Costco, like, once a week. I'm like, Caroline, why are you going that much? And she's like, well, I just realized things I need, blah, 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 whatever. She's like, but I'm going to start ordering stuff online. But, so she gets stuff for her neighbors. And so, she was telling me that she went, like, the day that they were putting the shelter in place, like, that they had announced it. And so she called, like, 4 of her neighbors, and, like, one of her neighbors was like, yeah, can you get us, like, a large bottle of gin? And another neighbor was like, can you get me a large bottle of vodka? And somebody was like, can you get us, like, 4 bottles of wine? So Caroline had, like a lasagna and, like, you know, like, all this stuff, and then she had, like, a huge bottle of vodka, a huge bottle of gin. And so she said to the, when she went through, she said to the cashier, she goes, I don't usually buy this much alcohol. And the woman said to her, she goes, you don't have to explain to us. She was like, sweetie, everybody's buying a lot of alcohol right now. And Caroline's like, they thought that I was drinking all of that alcohol. I was like, you probably would, Caroline, knowing you. She's like, no, I wasn't, I swear. She's like, plus, you know, I only drink wine anyway, and beer. She only drinks wine and beer. But, I mean, not only. But this is so good. But I feel so much better. Like, I got home and we, like, did all that kind of stuff, and we cleaned up and we cleaned ourselves up and everything like that. And I just was like, I just felt so relieved knowing I don't have to leave the house again. Felt so much better. Because I was kind of freaked earlier. Like, when we were driving over there. Well, when we drive in the parking lot of Costco, like, we didn't even get into the parking lot. We were, like, on the little side road going in there, and it looked packed, and Alex goes, I don't think we should go in. And I go, what do you mean you don't think we should go in? And I go, it'll move fast, trust me. And we, like, pulled up where the line was, and the line was, like, outside. He was like, I don't think we should go in. So then I parked, and I couldn't find my credit card because it was in my pocket, and I don't ever put it in my pocket. See, I'm not taking my wallet in because I want to, like, you know what I mean? So anyway, so I, like, and I'm putting, like, all these essentials on one credit card, and then I'm just paying the credit card off at the end of the month. And so I was like, looking for my credit card, and he was standing outside. I was like, well, I don't have my credit card. And he was like, well, I can get it. And I was like, no, I don't want to, like, go in. I don't, like, I feel like I've lost it. Like, I hope I didn't leave it at Meijer. I'm, like, panicked, right? And I go, should we not go now? And he goes, oh no, I've been waiting out here. He goes, for you, so we can go in now. So obviously then I found the credit card, and then we went inside. But it just, like, the line moved real quick. I did feel better having him with me too, I think. Because we very much, like, had a plan, and even though we, like, went through a lot of aisles and stuff like that, like, I wouldn't say we went through, like, every aisle, but we went through, like, most of the food aisles, and it just, we went real quick. Like, we weren't in there for a long time. People were very respectful at Costco, so I felt better about that. Okay, let's go into, I want to see if anybody asked me any questions to discuss in my comments today, since I talked about that last night. Well, let me tell you some other things, first of all, that I did. So last night when I got off here, I've been playing Words with Friends for like an hour and a half in the car and listening to my audiobook. So I listened to almost the entire, well, I had like a half an hour left today, and I finished it today, of, oh, what do you call it? Little Fires Everywhere. And I realized today, like, when I got done with it, because I was like, this is really good, this is really good. It was good, but I would give it a 4. I wouldn't give it a 5. It wasn't one of the most phenomenal books I've read. I thought it was very tightly woven. It reminded me a lot of, we must have like a neighborhood cat or something. I keep on seeing this cat over here. It reminded me a little bit of a Big Little Lies. Yeah, it reminded me of that Liam Moriarty book a little bit. But it was good. It was good. I'm excited to watch the show now. Big Little Lies, yeah, that's what it's called. But Caroline, when I was talking to her today, I was like, oh, have you ever read it? She was like, yeah. She was like, I read it when it came out. But then she told me to read, and I downloaded it tonight, because she said it was, I said, I was telling her, I said, I finally read that Delia Owens book that you told me to read, that Where the Crawdads Sing, and she said, wasn't it so good? And I said, oh my God, I think it's like one of my favorite new books. I think it's my new favorite book of life. And she said, have you read Educated? And I go, no. I go, I thought that was like a self-help book. And she goes, Educated? She goes, no, it's like an autobiography. And she's like, her family is saying that it's not true. And I said, she said she did, like, went and did like a bunch of like Google research after she like read the book. And I said, is it good? She goes, oh, it's like 100 times better than Where the Crawdads Sing. So I bought it tonight. I have no idea what it's like. Oh my God, it has a 4.47 average out of 5. That's like almost unheard of. This is what it says it's about. Tara Westover was 17 the first time she set foot in a classroom. Born to survivalists in the mountains of Idaho, she prepared for the end of the world by stockpiling home-canned peaches and sleeping with her head for the hills bag. In the summer, she stewed herbs for her mother, a midwife and healer, and in the winter, she salvaged in her father's junkyard. Her father forbade hospitals, so Tara never saw a doctor or nurse. Gashes and concussions, even burns from explosions, were all treated at home. Were all treated at home with herbalism. The family was so isolated from mainstream society that there was no one to ensure the children received an education and no one to intervene when one of Tara's older brothers became violent. Then, lacking any formal education, Tara began to educate herself. She taught herself enough mathematics and grammar to be admitted to Brigham Young University, where she studied history, learning for the first time about important world events like the Holocaust and the Civil Rights Movement. Her quest for knowledge transformed her, taking her over oceans and across continents to Harvard and to Cambridge. I said to Caroline, she goes, that college in England, and I said Oxford, she goes, yeah, that's the one, Cambridge, Caroline. Only then would she wonder if she'd traveled too far, if there was still a way home. Educated is an account of the struggle for self-invention. It is a tale of fierce family loyalty and of the grief that comes with severing the closest of ties. With the acute insight that distinguishes all great writers, Westover has crafted a universal coming-of-age story that gets to the heart of what an education is and what it offers, a perspective to see one's life through new eyes and the will to change it. Caroline said it was phenomenal. And then the first response, and here are 3 stars. I think if I had read this book, I may have enjoyed it more, as I didn't think the audio was great. Well, I'm real excited. Someone said, wow, what a screwed up family this poor woman had. So anyway, I'm either going to listen to that or Camino Island next. So I listened to Little Cabins Everywhere, and I played like 1,000 games of Words with Friends. It takes me like probably 40 minutes just to catch up on all the games that I have, and then there's like 3 or 4 people that are up that late at night, so then it's like I just play with those 3 or 4 people, that it just goes back and forth real quick. And but I'm having a lot of fun with it. I really like Words with Friends. I forgot how much I liked it. And then what else did I do? I watched I think maybe just one episode of The Good Place last night, and then I went to bed. And then I woke up today, and we did do that stuff, and I've had a headache all day long today. It's a sinus headache, so I know it's from allergies, but I took my allergy medicine and it didn't help. I'm almost kind of wondering if, like, maybe, like, my sinus stuff is bothering me more because, well, first of all, we're sleeping with the windows open, which is, it's so nice to have the breeze. We don't get much of a breeze through here because, see, like, okay, my neighbor's garage is over there, and then our garage, so it's like this kind of like, there isn't much of a breeze that comes through, but recently we've been getting a little bit of a breeze, so it's so nice to lay in bed late at night and have that breeze come across to you, you know? I just love that so much. And the puppies are being so sweet. Boo and Tucker are just, they're just the sweetest little guys. Miss Pee-Pee. But I'm happy that we have our little guys, you know? That made me so happy. So I think maybe because I'm getting up later, like I'm not taking my allergy medicine early in the morning, and that may be affecting why I'm like, you know, my allergy stuff is. But the aloe vera is working better than it usually does, because usually I'm all like stopped up and blowing my nose and stuff like that. And I haven't been like that a whole lot. I wanted to buy some plants at Costco today. Oh, that was the thing. We were like going through there. So we had 2 carts. Alex had a cart and I had a cart. And when we went by the plants, I said, oh, I want to buy some. Remember, I said I was going to buy some plants and whatever. And Alex goes, oh, it's going to stop. Hold on. Okay. I'm on my new camera, so it goes a half an hour. But it stops at like 29 minutes and something, and I don't know how long. But anyway, when we were at Costco, I said to Alex, oh, I think I might like to buy like a plant or two, which I'm thinking like it's still early in the season. I don't usually buy plants till like the end of May or like the beginning, somewhere in May, I don't know. And he looked at me and he goes, those aren't essentials. So then that became kind of our running joke, because like he wanted to get he got a huge box of like animal crackers, of which he has half of one in there. And I said, are those essentials? We had fun shopping together today, though. Okay, I'm gonna go in here and I want to read a couple comments. Ina said, Peter, if there was a leak, it sounds like you should probably get a plumber. I wouldn't wait too long if things got soaked. That is not a good sign. I'm sorry that's the case. No, I've had 3 people tell me that today, so we're calling on Monday. I would have called today, but by the time that like everything got started, it was so late, and I knew I wasn't going to get somebody out here. Photo Love App said, I am loving a pop now. I am craving a pop now. Haha. Love hearing the pop can open and sizzle. Dr. Pepper, I'm going to find you. Never get tired of your stories, Peter. Have a safe night. Oh, thank you so much. So many people left blue hearts. That was so sweet. Ashley said, this quarantine has forced me to sit down and actually write. I have no more excuses, so I'm throwing all my energy into finally writing the idea I've had in my head for the past 10 years. I hope everyone is able to focus on things they love and is able... You do it, girl. She said, and is able to keep the anxiety to a minimum. Ashley, you can do it. Write it. Get it out. Get it out. Let it flow. Fantastic. You're inspiring me, see? Shelley said, I just told my husband you lock yourself in your car while vlogging in the driveway. Truth be told, I would too. Love you, Peter. I don't know if y'all ever saw Death of a Cheerleader, but she got stabbed literally like right outside of her house. I'm just joking, but no, I mean seriously, she was like, do you remember that? Anyway. There should be okay, Doreen said there should be an access door to your shower's plumbing. If dry, there, tarp up the roof. An access door to our shower's plumbing. That I don't understand that. I don't know what you just said to me. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm just gonna call a plumber. How will you do that? Oh, Annette said, if it's a leak from the bathroom plumbing, your insurance should cover that. And they should also cover a portable bathroom parked in your driveway. Oh, joy! You don't say, Annette. I can't wait for that one. That's nice. I'm excited. Or maybe you can get them to pay for a hotel apartment because of the quarantine situation. My cousin, when she saw the leak, I mean, it's not huge. It's like this big, but I mean, it could spread, right? But she said she thought they should be able to like fix the leak, and then after all of this, they could come in and like do what they had to do. But I mean, who knows how long we're gonna be quarantined, right? Tanya said, in Oklahoma, they are limiting people that are going into Walmart starting tomorrow, maybe even take it to where you are only allowed essentials. That's what they're talking about here in Indiana. It's about time our numbers are going up by the hundreds daily. So sad. I guess they did, this isn't the comment, but So they rescheduled EDC. Here, I'll have to look it up. Alex was telling me about this on the way home. Because he was like, would you rather go to EDC or Coachella? And I was, because he goes, they're both in October. And I go, okay, well, first of all, that's not my major concern today. Like, I know you're upset that they canceled EDC. And he goes, well, I just want to know what you would rather do. And I said, well, I would rather do EDC because then I can, you know, be in Vegas. And he goes, but it's going to be October. You can't lay out by the pool and stuff like that. I said, I don't know that it's really hit Alex. That probably maybe like by October. I'm not convinced yet that we're going to be at a music festival state of mind. That's just my 2 cents. But, I mean, I think this is going to forever kind of like change the way that we do things and look at things and whatever. But apparently they canceled it today. He didn't act too upset about it. EDC Las Vegas officially postponed to October due to virus outbreak. EDC Las Vegas 2020 has officially been postponed to the fall amid the coronavirus outbreak, the organizer announced Friday. The annual electronic music festival was originally scheduled for May, but Insomniac revealed the new dates will be October 2nd through the 4th. All original ticket purchases will still be honored, according to Insomniac. Refunds will be available for the people who bought tickets for the original dates but cannot attend in the fall. So, that's interesting. At least they're giving a refund, right? And they put out this. Oh, God, it took me to their Instagram. I didn't want to do that. I wonder what these DJs are doing now that they're like at home and they're not getting paid, you know? Because this is like their time when they're making all the money. Why did I go into that? Okay, back into the comments. Melissa said, stranger than fiction, I love listening to your vlogs and hearing that can of pop crack open. No, I love you, Peter, and that I am always going to be here. I hope you and Alex and the dogs are staying sane and safe. We can't lose our favorite vlogger, drama queen. Aw. Did you think I was leaving because of my title? I'm stopping now. Did anybody know why I picked that title? It was because when I stopped the camera, I go, oh, hold on a second, I'm gonna stop it now. Tricky, tricky. You guys are so funny. Sean said, Peter, your new camera shows such a vivid picture. I hope everyone stays safe and healthy. Love you. Thank you so much. You know, Valerie said the same thing. She was like, I'm loving the new camera. Can you really tell a difference? Peter, share Alex's TikTok account. Okay. Alex's TikTok account is, I think it's Alex J. Paredes 7. Hold on a second. Now I'm looking at this TikTok. This girl says, my boyfriend looks like a celebrity. It's supposed to be Jason Momoa. Oh, he does. That was weird. These TikTok things kind of weird me out sometimes. Like, he really looks like him. Anyway, okay. Well, my TikTok is Peter Monn. My husband's TikTok is... Alex J. Paredes. And he's doing dance ones over there. And some with the dogs. The dog ones are cute too. The best part of waking up. Okay, Shantoy said, "Hi Peter, I was wondering if you could speak more on following through with your new YouTube channel. You've spoken on how to get started, but what about the backlash you receive or the anxiety you feel with every video? How do you cope? And how do you get past it? Thanks again for posting daily." So, what about the backlash you receive? Well, I think, like, there's different kinds of backlash. I think that there is, targeted backlash from people that just do not like you, and they continue to just come at you, and at some point you become kind of immune to it. I think also you stop seeking it out, and you stop searching for it. And I think, like, the other backlash of, like, when I started and people would say things about my voice or my mannerisms, and I still get those comments on my videos, right? But they really hold, like, no power whatsoever. I do think, like, YouTube is this interesting place, right? Because I think that people that have a lot of insecurities are really attracted to being on YouTube, because they see people that are very confident or seemingly very confident, right? Like, a lot of the YouTubers that we watch come across as being very confident and whatever, but are they really? Or is it just on camera? You know what I mean? I mean, it's one thing for me to sit here on camera and talk to you guys in a driveway for an hour and a half. It's another thing for me to, like, go out in public and be like, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like, it's two completely different things. Put me in that scenario, and it's a little harder for me. So, I think that it's a lot of people that, I mean, I think most of us have a lot of insecurities, right? And they're different for each of us. And so I think it's people that have a lot of insecurities. I think it's a lot of people that were maybe not the cool kid in school ever, you know, that want to be on YouTube and want validation and acceptance on some level. I mean, I've talked to so many people that relate to that are YouTubers. And I think they feel like they find their safe place and people that like them. But then you're basically, to do that, you have to, like, put all of your insecurities out there, right? And wait for people just to whittle them down. And it's like, I think what the thing is that's interesting about it is that the people that really dislike you, what you realize over time, have, like, indirectly really helped you. Because, like, the things that, like, when I started, you know, and people would say, like, a lot of things about my voice, or people would take pictures of my, like, body sideways, like, you know, and, like, post that or whatever, like, that stuff really, really hurt, right? But it's like, at some point, you get to a point where you're just kind of like, yep, that's me, that's who I am, and I love myself for it, and here, you know, are 30 people that really can't stand me, and then here are, you know, 3,000 people that love to watch me every single day. So am I going to listen to the 3,000, or am I going to listen to the 30, you know? And I think it's really about learning to, like, believe in yourself and trust yourself. YouTube has been a journey of self-discovery for me in a way that I never would have expected it to be. I mean, I have learned more about being confident, self-assured, accepting of myself than I ever did before, just from being on YouTube, you know? And so many of you guys have really, really helped me with that. I can remember, the voice thing has been an issue for me since I can remember, like, youngest memories, people making fun of my voice. And, you know, when I was growing up, it was a lisp, and I've always, you know, like, my mannerisms have been, you know, very effeminate, and I've always been made fun of for that stuff. And then I get on my vlog, okay, which I never expected to start this. This was always kind of just a side thought. And I mean, never to this capacity did I ever think that this is what it was going to be. It just kind of evolved in this way. And then I have all these people that are like, I love your voice, and it's so soothing to fall asleep to, and whatever. And, you know, like, one of the things I know today is, well, this was, okay, so when Alex and I were in Las Vegas 2 years ago, I think, I was in the pool, and he was up at the, laying on the side, like, on a chair, and I was talking to him. I was like this, you know, talking to him, and when I started talking, this guy walked by, like, one of the guys that worked there, and he turned around and he goes, "Are you Peter Monn?" And I said, yes. And he goes, I mean, I didn't recognize you without like the hat, because I used to wear a pink hat and all the, you know, and all that. I think that was the trip that I got the icon hat at the first time. But anyway, he was like, I didn't recognize you, blah, 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 whatever. He goes, oh my God, I love your videos and whatever. I said, well, how did you know it was me? He goes, because I totally recognized your voice. He was like, you have like one of the most unique voices. And so it's like, today, like my voice is such a part of me that I wouldn't want to change it, like for whatsoever, you know? The backlash, I think, you know, there's a group of people out there that think I'm the world's biggest liar, and that's fine. And, you know, I would say up till about a year and a half ago, it really, 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 really bothered me, because it's something that like being a person in recovery, honesty is such a huge issue for me, because way back in the day when I was using, I was a total lie. You know, like that was a issue for me. And so, like, that really, really bothered me, because it was like right to my core, because I don't think any of the people that were accusing me of that realized what they were doing. But what they were doing was they were challenging my recovery. They were challenging the philosophy of the life that I live by, right? And I think that what happened was, it was that and a lot of people coming at me at the same time, when I think I have tried to shown, you know, over time that I'm somebody that's going to make mistakes, and I'm going to screw up, and I'm willing to own it, you know, and I think I've shown over time that I have learned, and that I continue to grow and learn, and I believe that I have shown that, you know, and so I think at some point I just was like, these are people that like crave and live off of not liking you. They're never gonna like you. It wouldn't matter what you did, you know? So why even try to, like, you know, pander to that whole audience? Like, just let them not like you. Like, that's fine. Like, there's gonna be people in the world that don't like you. And I think once I kind of accepted that, and I, you know, stopped seeking it out and whatever, and I just was kind of like, you know what, it is what it is. It's okay. They don't have to like me, you know? They can think I'm like the biggest liar in the entire world. They can think that everything is concocted and made up and whatever, but, you know, I know the truth, and so does God, and that's really all that matters to me. I mean, I know YouTubers who people think are the most sincere, honest people in the entire world, whose entire online presence is completely a facade. I mean, like, to the point where you wouldn't even believe it. So I think driving around and sitting in a car, you know, like telling life stories about my mother and things like that, and going to Beaver Island, Michigan, and you know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm obviously not making that stuff up. So at some point I just had to let go of all of that. And I think you get used to it over time. I think, you know, I think I came into the game late. Like, I'm obviously much older than most people that start YouTube, but I came into the game late, and I think with a gentle heart and not tough skin. And so when people would say, like, you need to have tough skin, like, I didn't know how to do that, but I've learned. And I think that the way that you learn is by, you're gonna have to go through some rough patches. I don't really, honestly, I don't think I've ever talked to a YouTuber that hasn't gone through a rough patch. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think I've ever talked to somebody that hasn't been kind of like, you know, like had a hard time on YouTube at some point or another. I really wish I had a bottle of... I found this in the floor when I was cleaning out the car the other day. So I think that, and then the anxiety, I don't know really. I mean, like the social anxiety of getting on camera, first of all, you can't question that, okay? The reality is, unless you tell your friends and your family to go watch your video, like nobody's gonna know that it's even out there, okay? And how it starts trending and gets noticed, who knows? I have no idea. Tag the hell out of it with different stuff. You know, I think when you're starting, like what's really interesting is that, like, if you go to a lot of these like super famous YouTubers, and like it'll show their first video as being like, let's say 6 years ago, right? But what you don't see, because they've privated all of them, is that there were 2 years of videos before that of them trying to find their like niche on YouTube, right? And them getting videos that had like 100 views, 200 views, 150 views. They weren't getting 30 views, you know? I mean, hell, when you want to talk about views, do you guys look at my channels? My booktube video, let's look, where I'm reading in my book. Well, I don't want to get out of the question, so I gotta go to Chantoy. I gotta remember that I was there. Okay. So if you go to like, okay, my Peterisms videos, so those don't get very many views. So my Peterisms videos yesterday got a 768. That was pretty good. Okay. Then 504 the day before that, and 723. So and that channel's been up for 2 years, you guys. Like, that's small potatoes, and I'm totally fine with that. That's 400 to 500 people that want to hear what I have to say about that stuff and read the meditations. And so, you know, and I get more comments on that channel than probably, not comments, but I get more personal people reaching out to me from that channel and this channel than probably any other channel. And then like my booktube channel, I'm like averaging like 500 people listening to me read my book every single day. And I'm like, that's fine. Like, that's a lot of people. That's 500 people more than had ever heard my book before, you know? So you just have to look at it that way. You can't think about the numbers when you start. You just really can't. And I think, like, if you're gonna do it because you really want to do it. Like, you feel passionate about making videos. Because you might make videos for 5 years and only get 5 views a video. I mean, in reality. So I hope you like it enough to do it, because I think the thing that keeps people like from going like, I'm quitting, I'm giving up, is that they'll be like, well, I will tell you like one thing. If you're like in a niche community like booktube, like, or a mommy blogger community or whatever, I don't know, like candle community, interact with the other people, because then they'll, they'll shout you out. Like when I started booktube, like I did a lot of buddy reads with people, so we're shouting each other out. I did like the main beginners videos. I did like the booktube newbie tag. I did like, like what my channel is going to be like on, I did like all that stuff, all the beginning ones. I did a lot of tag videos. I tagged people in I interacted with a lot of people on Twitter because I was just really, really excited about it, and I still am. Did I tell you that the Reader's Rush is going to be April 15th to the 18th that weekend? I'm so excited. So anyway, that's formerly the Booktubeathon that they do in July, but they're going to do one for April because everybody's at home. So anyway, yeah, just participate in stuff and interact. I think that's a really good way. I'll tell you what not to do, and it's a real turn off to me, is when people come into my comment sections. I don't mind. Like, I will never delete this comment. I mean, the only channel I ever delete comments on are this channel, and if it's somebody that says something that's really, really uncalled for, and then I'm just like, you're gone. I'm done. And I don't even delete them. What I do is I watch it. And if they do it once, I usually leave it, or if it's like a really ruthless comment, I'll delete it. But I remember who they are, and if they do it again, I block them from my channel. That's just what I do. So if you can't leave a comment, you've been blocked. There you go. So, but that's kind of like my 2-point system. I don't even, like on my Peter Monn channel, I can't remember the last time when I made the video about Nikki tutorials coming out, I got some ruthless comments on that video that I deleted, but I didn't block the people. I just deleted the comment. They were just some really nasty comments, They were uncalled for. I don't have a problem with people having their opinions as long as they can verbalize them in educated, mature ways. We're all adults, So yeah, just start it. You're in your head too much, Shantoy. I will tell you that. Like, you're thinking too much about it. Just start it. And that's what happened to me, and I knew I was going to be in my head too long when I was going to start my booktube channel. And I was like, that night before, I was like excited. I was hyped up about it. I was like, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. And then that next day I woke up and I was like, I started talking myself out of it. And I was like, you need to do this now, because if you don't start this now, you're going to talk yourself out of it, and you really want to do this. Like, you're really excited about this. So that's why I ended up doing it that day. I've been drinking so much water. Phyllis and Jay have both started, they both commented on this since I have been vlogging. Hi! Okay, let's find Shantoy's comment and then go down. Why can't I find the comment? There's Melissa's comment. Okay, wait, was there more to the question? I don't feel anxiety with every video that I post. I mean, hardly ever. I can't think of a video that I posted the last time. I can't really even think about a video that I was gonna post. Oh, you know, I know. Okay, when I posted the video talking about how I didn't want to accept PR anymore, I knew it was gonna ruffle some feathers, and so I just was like, and I can remember when I finished it, I was like, do you even want to put this out there? Is it even worth the trouble that it's gonna, you know, that in the long run? And I was like, F it, it's my opinion, you know, it's my life. I'm not talking about anybody else, I'm talking about me, and I'm saying I don't want PR anymore, so don't send it to me, you know, and if anybody else takes that personally, that's on them. It has nothing to do with me. And I respect myself from the other channels, or respect the other channels, and I give them their distance, and you know, so but I knew when I made that video that it was gonna ruffle some feathers. So I think, I wouldn't say I was anxious to post a video, but I just knew. I was like, I didn't know that it was gonna turn into like what it did at that time, because it kind of like got really out of hand with like some like smaller drama channels making videos about it and stuff like that, which I totally didn't expect all that. What I thought was that a couple people would make comments about it on like Twitter or something like that, but I didn't think it would, which is really kind of how it started and ended, but I didn't really think it would turn into like this bigger thing that it turned into. I was like, if that had been the case, I would never have said anything, but, and not because I can't handle it, but because it's not really worth it to me. I would have just kept that information to myself. Plus I'd already said it in a video before, so I didn't need to say it again, but anyway. But I guess that day I felt like I did, I don't know. I can't think of a video. I will tell you this though. Years ago, another drama channel said to me, it was like when I very first started, well, it was Sanders Kennedy. Sanders Kennedy said this to me one time, and he said, if you're making a video and you're really nervous about posting it, chances are, like, it's probably going to be one of the best videos that you've posted, or it's going to get the best reaction. And I have, like, found that to be true. Like, I think he was absolutely right. Like, whenever I come, like, really hard with an opinion, I'm talking about mostly for my drama channel, like, over here it doesn't really apply, but, like, when I come, like, really hard with, like, an opinion or whatever over there, like, I do find that it gets a lot more attention. Like, either, like, there's a lot of people that agree with it and disagree with it or whatever. And I always think about that whenever, like, I'm, like, getting ready to, like, post a video and I'm like, okay, I held to my opinion in this video. You know what I mean? Like, I think about, like, what he said to me way back then, you know? And, I think it was true, you know? So, I also think sometimes it's hard to, like, I'm so comfortable over here, like, just talking about my life and whatever, but I think sometimes it's really, like, it takes a while to get comfortable telling your truth on video, you know what I mean? Like, telling who you are as a person. Like, you know, me just talking about being an addict in recovery, an alcoholic in recovery, and my weight issues, and my grief of my mother. Like, this vlog has helped so much with that. Like, I did it on my other channels, but I didn't do it anywhere near to the level that I do over here. And I think that by doing it over here and on my Peterisms channel, it's really allowed me to be open and feel vulnerable on my other channels, which has allowed me to be crazy and, you know, my personality everywhere, drama phones and flipping you know what I mean? It's allowed me to be that, because I don't feel like I'm holding myself back anymore. And I think that that's important. It's gonna stop, hold on. Okay, and I think that that's important. So I think if you can, like, you know, get to the people that are the most attractive on YouTube to watch are the people that are, like, I think that are either, like, so completely, like, unrestricting themselves, or, like, they're so, excuse me, comfortable being, like, crazy and a character, or they're so completely relatable because they're so genuine and authentic on YouTube. Like, those are the people that I love to watch, you know? And that can range anywhere from, like, you know, like Amelia Fart to Chelsea Lynn to, I don't know, I'm just trying to think of somebody that I feel like is, like, really just authentic. I'm trying to think of somebody. I've had a hard time, like, you know, Nick and Poncho, I think that's what it was for me, you know? And, like, I went and I watched his, like, video about Poncho, and it was just so effing endearing, you know? And I think that's what it was. It wasn't just that he had a Chihuahua and I had a Chihuahua. I think it was the fact that this guy was just so endearing, like, his love for this little dog, you know? And, it's little things like that, like, I mean, I would literally have to have somebody come, like, stand in front of me with, like, a list and be like, this person, and I could tell you, like, it would be like, yeah, they're fine, and then it would be like somebody you would ask me, and I would just be like, oh my god, I'm blown away, like, I'm absolutely blown away by them. And I can't think of anybody right now that, like, I'm just, like, blown away by. I should go through my YouTube and look and see. I mean, there's not really anybody right now that, Drag Showdown, just put another episode up. Tour, I don't know what that means. I mean, I'm just, like, going through these people, and I'm just like, yeah, like, I mean, I'm going through a lot of people that you would know, and I'm just like, none of these people seem that genuine to me, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's why sometimes I like a lot of the, like, much smaller, you know, like, YouTube, like, creators, because they just, like, I think that's, like, okay, like, recently, I, like, watched this, what was her name? Her name's Blair, but her channel is a dinosaur. Okay, it's like a dinosaur, but it's sir at the end. And, like, here, I'll go to her channel really quick. I think that's part of why I do like Raw Beauty Christie, because she just is so, just like, here's who I am. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you know, whatever. Dino. Here it is. It's ADINOSIR. And, like, she does, like, she did LED Lights Makeup Challenge. 184 views. She has 16,000 subscribers. Let's Talk About It. Quarantine Mukbang, 232 views. Why You Wouldn't Date Yourself, 274 views. Peter Monn Is a Dinosaur, 281 views. She really pulled in the views with that one on me, didn't she? Anyway, TikTok challenges have gone too far, but she's just so real when you watch her. Like, it's like the old days of YouTube to me, when people are just, like, laying there and they're, like, you know, on their bed or their couch and just like, hey, what's up, you know? I don't know. I love it. Okay, let's go back to some more questions. Shantoy just started. Melissa said, hi, Peter. I love to hear your stories. I love to hear stories about your mother, about the things you and your mom did together when you were very young. She sounds wonderful. Take care, everyone. Love you. Oh, thank you. I can't think of any other ones to tell. Angie's World said, I mean, I'm sure I have a million, but I just can't think of right now. Peter, because of you, I went out and bought onion dip and chips. My best quarantine body is not going to be popping. I know, I told Alex tonight when we got back, we were like laying in bed. And, first of all, our house is so clean. It's driving me kind of crazy. I mean, it's like really, like seriously, it's clean. Like the bathroom, like closet, he went through and he organized that whole thing, and then I cleaned out the garage, and then he cleaned out the pantry, and then like the refrigerator. I mean, we're just like, one of us is doing something every other day. And so like the bathroom closet is completely organized. Like it's crazy. Like our robes are all hung up. He's got our, like each side of our robes, and then like all of our toiletries and stuff are all like organized by like toothpaste and soap and whatever, and mouthwash. And I don't know, it was just like, and I sprayed these like linen sprays on the bed, and the room smelled really good. It smelled like fresh cotton, and the windows were open, and I was just like so relaxed. And I was like standing there in the mirror, and he was like talking to me, telling me something, and I was like, and he was on the bed, and I was in the bathroom, and I was like looking at myself, and I just started laughing for some reason. And he goes, what are you laughing at? And I said, I think I'm gonna just eat what I'm eating like now for like the next 2 weeks, like my muffins. And I mean, this was like a real statement that came out of my mouth, okay? Like 100% true statement. I was like, I think I'm just gonna eat like the macaroni and cheese and like the muffins and like my peanut butter things and my onion dip and chips for like the next 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna do Octavia. and he started laughing so hard. And I go, what are you laughing at? And he goes, okay, just let me know when that week starts. And I go, maybe 3. I go, we did buy a lot of stuff today. I don't want it to go to waste. I mean, my God. I got to get my beach body so I can sit out on my patio. Thank God we have a patio. I'm thinking that right now. I'm sure that they won't open the pool this year. You think they won't? They won't probably open pools. I'm sure they won't open pools this year. How could they? I'm straight up getting me one of those pools from Walmart. I'm going to sit on my back patio. Don't think I'm not. I'm getting one of those baby pools. I actually heard somebody when we were at Costco today, because they have like all their summer stuff out, and they have like those blow up pools. And this guy goes, you've always wanted an indoor pool. We could blow that up and put it inside. I lived. But no, seriously, I am. I'm going to get one of those, what do you call it? I'm going to get one of those, blow up movies. I mean, blow up things. I was thinking that we have Alex's from work. We have his projector, and I actually have another projector to review. So we were gonna like do movies on the patio one night. I was like, yeah, you know what? Like our couple over here, like they're so nice. We should like tell them they can bring their lawn chairs out behind our patio, and they can sit there and like eat popcorn and watch movies too if they wanted to. And social distance and keep their 10 feet. My cousin Caroline said that she's like taking her chair like across the street, and like her neighbors will be sitting in the driveway, and like other people will come, like and they literally will sit 10 feet apart from each other while they're like talking. I haven't seen that in our neighborhood, but like a lot of people are like out and walking around and stuff like that. Oh, comments. I was gonna read a few more comments, wasn't I? I'm like in my head, can you tell? Well, Angie's World, let me know how much you like the onion dip. Charlotte said, who else doesn't skip the ads because they want to help Peter? And they 5 likes. Thank you to those 6 people out there, Charlotte, and those 5 people. I really appreciate that. Cheryl said, Peter, I don't know if you ever watch regular TV, but a new series just previewed last week on Tuesday evening after the, oh, I thought you said it was called This Is Us. It is called The Council of Dads. It was so good. I think it picks back up starting on April 30th. Hope your leak is not too bad. Oh, thank you. I'll check that show out. Sharma said, made me laugh so hard when you said, I don't like our plastic cups anymore because that's what I say to rationalize buying new stuff, aka. Okay, let me just show you. Well, first of all, this one doesn't have it, but we have like these stickers that literally I have like picked and 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 picked. They won't come off. I kind of like these because they're so tacky that they look like Florida golfing cups, right? But I just like these really big like tumblers, but just wait. It's like, I have some new glasses, they're coming, I'm so excited. I know, I looked at Alex coming out of the grocery store today and I said, this is the most we've ever spent at the grocery store. I mean, this is literally the most we've ever spent at the grocery store. And I was like, and this wasn't even that much. Like, I mean, I can't imagine like what families do. Like, I have friends of mine that they'll be like, oh, when the kids are home in the summer, like, that just occurred to me. I couldn't even think about that. Like, my friends will be like, yeah, when my kids are home in the summer, like, we spend so much money on groceries because, like, all they do is sit around and eat and blah, 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 whatever. I mean, people must be spending that have families and kids right now. I didn't even think about that. I mean, I was thinking food was expensive and stuff, but that just kind of like, you know. Caroline worked, so she's helping do outreach where they drive meals, like they pick up meals from like a restaurant. So they did like this pizza place, this local pizza place. They picked up so many, I think it was like 30 pizzas or something, and they took it to families that can't leave to go get food. And so she did that this morning, and she was telling me like they have so many people that like literally cannot leave their homes. Oh, the battery's gonna stop, hold on a second. Okay, I'm back. Anyway, she was telling me that they had, whoo, this battery is hot, tamales. She was telling me that they had so many people, I have 2 batteries in here, that can't leave their houses. You know, like either like they're elderly or they, but just for whatever reasons, they can't leave. And so she was telling me about that today. And I do feel blessed about that. I do feel blessed that like I'm able to go out and get the things I need. And I mean, like, you heard my essentials. My essentials are not even like, although I do have enough Morningstar stuff in there to, oh shoot, I want to put my lip balm on first. But I do have enough Morningstar stuff in there, but I'm saving it for when I do the Optavia. No, like seriously, but I am, because when, I mean, like at some point, like summer's gonna be here, whether we can leave our houses or not, it doesn't matter. And I put this diet off for years now. I mean, it's so ridiculous. The Optavia stuff, like, it doesn't just, like, come. Like, it'll tell you, like, your next order is in 7 days and will be shipped in 7 days, right? Or your next order will be shipped in 4 days. It says it, like, 7 and 4. So I just go in there and I, like, change the date. I cannot tell you how many times I've changed the date, okay? Like, I've changed the date for, like, the last 4 months. And one day I went in there and I was so pissed because I went in and I changed my whole order because I was, like, real serious that I was going to do it, right? I think this was like in January. And I wanted like, did I talk about this on here? I wanted like all bars and stuff. Like all bars and shakes. I was like, I want to do it. All bars and shakes. All bars and shakes, right? And I went in there and changed it. But like there was like some small thing at the very bottom that said save. And I didn't hit the save thing. Why do we have to have that save button? So anyway, they sent the box. And it was the basic essentials box. And I was so pissed about it. Because it was like half the stuff that I don't even like. But I was like, whatever. I'll still eat it anyway. So then I don't like need any more for a while. I'll just keep one. When I decide to do it, I'll do that one. Stephanie said, hi Peter. Hey Peter, say hi to the baby, Alex and the babies. Hope you're doing well. I will. Darlene said, I love this, okay? So this is like a small argument that Alex and I get into. And Caroline and I too. Darlene said, throw it out, all out. If you haven't used it in a year, you don't need it. And then Lori responded and said, amen. Let me tell you something, okay? I cannot tell you how many times in the last 20 years I have thought to myself, well, where's that pair of Doc Martens that I had? Oh, threw them out. Where's that sweatshirt that I got in Camden Lock? Oh, threw that out. Where's that chair that I used to have? Oh, gave that away because I didn't use that anymore. Oh, all that jewelry that I have, like, because my style changes and goes back in. What happened to that? Oh, threw that away. Where did that sweater go? Oh my God, I always said that I would, you know, like, oh, threw that sweater away. I can't tell you how many things I have thrown out or given away because I have thought to myself, I don't wear this anymore. And then a year later, 6 months later, 3 months, years later, and I'm not talking about just like random stuff you can go get anywhere. I'm talking about like specific things that are like, that like through the years have like been really like cool things I have thought. But because my husband so believes, and so does my cousin, that if you don't like that magic book of tidying up or whatever, that if you haven't like used it or like whatever in the last year, you should get rid of it. I do not agree with that statement. I just have to tell you, okay? But I do agree with you on this. I think like, it depends on what it is. Like, if it's something kind of special, you should keep it. And maybe, like, just keep an area in your house where you just keep special things. So, like, I have an area in my basement now. Of course, it's in my basement. But no, it's a very organized area of my basement where I keep, like, all the bags that I have, like, backpacks and, like, you know, satchels and things, messenger bags that I bought through the years that I keep. Because I don't want to throw those away. But there are some messenger bags that I'm like, I don't care if I ever see this again. Like, I'm never going to use it. And it has been worn out and it's been used, and I know that. I'm talking about more like specialty kind of like things that you buy, and you're like, well, I haven't really used this in a while. I don't know. So I see both sides of it. Like, I was thinking today, like, it was so nice, like, last night when I cleaned out the garage. I mean, I had to clean it out. So I just was like, toss, 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 toss. Plus, a lot of the stuff was damaged because, like, just little driplets of water had come down. I don't know when it would have come down, but it seemed like it had been there for a while. But I had, like, stuffed animals that I had used, like, in my videos, like, a year and a half ago that I would think, like, sometimes I go in there and I pull up props that I haven't used, you know, for a long time. Props. Like, I'm, like, Universal Studios or something. But anyway, and I just threw it all away. I was just, like, I mean, I think I kept, like, the big fan. I kept all of my fans. I actually found 3 Beast fans down there. I kept the big fan, the Sally from Halloween. But, like, there was a bunch of stuff that I threw out. There was a bunch of stuff that was destroyed, that was, like, been sitting there too long, or, like, was, like, dented or whatever, that I just threw out. I feel so much better that it's cleaned out. I had this big plastic tub underneath it in case it, like, falls. Like, it'll catch, you know, like, the water or, like, you know, the plaster or whatever. And so I went out there tonight, and Alex had turned it over and had put, like, our things of Coke, you know, Diet Coke and Coke on there. And I was like, okay, first of all, if the Diet and his Gatorade, I was like, if it falls, it's going to fall, like, right onto this stuff, and then we're not going to want to drink this. So I covered all that with, like, a trash bag. And then I, like, had to go down the basement. Thank God my mother was the queen of those plastic containers. She has, like, 19 million in the basement. So I just use them for everything now, to organize stuff or not organize stuff. But I think because I talk about this basement, people have this idea that I'm, like, a hoarder. I'm totally not. Like, because my husband really doesn't keep anything, although it's, like, weird. Like, my husband has, like, his books from college, and I'm like, don't you think that we should throw these out? He's like, no. And I'm like, are you gonna really read these textbooks again? He was like, I don't know, I might. I'm like, okay, you know? So it's weird, like, what different things mean things to other people, you know? The problem with the basement right now is that, and that's gonna be, like, so the next thing I have to clean is I have where, like, I keep all my books and stuff in the kitchen. I want to clean the cabinets up and the cabinet underneath it, and then that drawer. So I've got that. That'll take me, like, a day to do. Not even, I mean, that won't take me a whole day, but, like, I'm going to do that one of these days. And then after I get done with that, the only other thing I have to do is the basement, because everything's in the basement. We'll be able to move down there and to get cleaned out and stuff. So, yeah. And then I'll start working on the basement in the next month and get it done. The problem right now is that we have like one trash container that comes once a week. Like, it's literally, so today is Friday, it's full from me cleaning out the garage last night. So we can't put any more trash in there, you know? It's like, that's the problem. And we're, like, in our neighborhoods, you cannot, like, put trash bags on top of your trash container. Like, if you do that, they won't take it. Like, it has to fit in the trash container. So, I mean, I can bag all that stuff up there right now, but it's going to take weeks before we, you know, get it out. So, anyway. I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. I was just proud of myself for getting the garage done, like, and literally in an hour and a half or something. Now I'm gonna start throwing everything away. Darlene, I'm joking when I say this, so don't be like taking this personally. But even though I say your name, now I'm gonna start throwing everything away. I'm gonna be like, well, I haven't used it in a year. Darlene says, and then like 5 years from now, I'll be like, damn it, Darlene, you told me to throw it away. Love you, Darlene. Okay. Melody said, definitely call a plumber for that leak. My upstairs neighbor had one, and it wasn't until water was pouring down our walls that we knew it was there. Nightmare. I'm calling on Monday. Britt said, when was the time that you laughed the hardest that you ever have that you can remember? Did I answer that last night? Did you ask me? Somebody asked me that just the other day, didn't they? Was it you, Britt, that asked me that? I don't remember the last time that I laughed so hard. Did I say it on here? I feel like I answered it the other day. Britt said, oh my God, you read my comment. Thank you so much. Look at my good Judy Stephanie in here. Cheerleading people. Hold strong, guys. Blue heart, love and health. I love you, Stephanie. Girl, you need to call me. I'm just sitting around here every day. And I'm always like, who to call? And then I always like, I see it in the comments. And I'm like, oh, I need to call Stephanie. All right, well, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Actually, I think I'm gonna get off of here so I can listen to my, I don't know if I'm gonna start Camino Island or if I'm gonna start Educated. I don't know which one I wanna listen to tonight. Like, Camino Island's kind of like a no-brainer, so I think I kind of wanna do that. I also need to listen to Molly's Game. So if you guys are wanting to participate in the book club, Mel and I's book club, which is called True Crime Book Club with a period at the end of it, all in lowercase. For this month, we are reading Molly's Game by Molly Bloom, and it is about a woman who started high-stakes poker games. Did you guys see there's a new reality show, Mel's Gonna Die, called Family of the Mafia? Did you guys see this? And it's like a reality show of people that are like in the mafia. Anyway, I used to watch that Gotti, Growing Up Gotti or whatever it was called. Did you ever watch that with Victoria Gotti? That was the show back in the day. But anyway, her kids all had hairdos that looked like Jersey Shore. But if you want to participate in the book club, It is April, so the book is Molly's Game, and it's about a woman who started a high-stakes poker game for, like, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ben Affleck, like, movie stars, billionaires, whatever. And it's supposed to be really, really good. They made it into a movie. So that is what we are reading. Also, on the 12th at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is Easter Sunday, we are doing a live discussion of The Tiger King. So please participate in that if you'd like to. You don't even have to have watched it to come and participate, but we ask that if you're going to guest with us that you have watched the show. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, don't have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Start a new book. Just start any book. You're at home. Read maybe something. It doesn't matter what it is. Could you read a comic book, graphic novel, or romance novel, or whatever. Anyway, and what was I gonna say? What was I going to say? Peter, what were you going to say? Yeah, but I hope you have an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans, like I always say. And do something fun today, and do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow, or next week, or 60 years from now, like I always say. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day, and you do one daily positive affirmation for yourself, and you say something to yourself, like, if you're watching this at the end of today, you say to yourself, tomorrow is going to be a fantastic day, and I am so thankful for the day that I just had, even if it was crap. What was one good thing? If you're at the end of your day, think of one good thing that happened today that was really, really good. And if you're waking up watching this, say to yourself, today is going to be an amazing day. Oh my God, I am going to have such a positive outlook on the world today. And say it until you believe it and convince yourself of it. And most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you, how much you care about them. And just, it can be anybody. Just say, hey, how are you doing? And I'm trying to do a little bit of that every single day, and it's been so nice that people that have reached out to me that I haven't heard from. It's been really, really pleasant. It's been really, really nice. It's been a pleasure? No, it's been a surprise. It's been a nice surprise. And yeah, don't forget to practice random acts of kindness. But what's most important in that? Don't tell anybody. Just do it, because it's the right thing to do, and it'll make you feel better. And it'll help us be better people, help us be good people. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you are having an amazing Saturday, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.